Oh my. Yeah, I'm
In
good.
Dallas? Did that happen in
Yeah.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I look like a flying squirrel.
Oh, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome to the show again. Today I have my very, very good friend AnneMarie Waltz with us. She is an amazing entrepreneur, an extreme professional, and an amazing friend. And I wanted to introduce you guys to AnneMarie. Anne, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about you're the founder of HowTo Marketing Pro, but I know you're running multiple other things as well. So take us through that journey a little bit, like who AnneMarie is and like what led up to HowTo Marketing Pro.
Oh, geez. Thank you. Thanks for having me, first of all. Way back, I wanted to be a hairstylist. Like from the time I was 8 years old, I fulfilled that. I wound up educating across the country with a manufacturer. And then 20 years ago, I had online booking for my salon that I had found a service, and then I was off and running, because then from that I like to say that I had an automated salon long before Walmart had their first checkout counter. So I just fell in love with tech. Through that, I was able to really harness the power of the internet and make my own traffic and really cultivate what it was as far as a niche service that I wanted to see happen within my own brick and mortar salon. And then, thus, since 2020, when our businesses are still standing and other people have struggled, that's where my brand came in as far as HowTo Marketing Pro. So,
Hmm.
That sounds great.
So yeah, so that's quite an interesting journey there. So from sounds of it, sounds like you are a professional hairdresser, and that's from there you got into getting your own salon, running it for like 20 years. Do you still run that salon?
yeah, I'm by appointment only, and I'm more or less very high ticket now. So when about 25 years ago, I was on the same street and I was across the street. My haircuts were $19. Now my makeover packages range between $3,000 to $4,000. So
Wow.
I go in. I more or less, you could say, I freelance within my own brick and mortar. So when I get the job, I go in, which
Your brand great.
which has over the years enabled me to pursue my love of marketing. So
So marketing for yourself throughout that career, and then being an entrepreneur of a
mhm.
brick and mortar store, and experimenting with stuff. And I've worked with some salons in Calgary through my agency, and I know it's not an easy business.
No.
uh, you know I know that some of the owners really fun people, and running amazing businesses. And but it's not an easy business. It's going to be like any other thing. It's going to be a grind. You're going to have to give time to it to become a master in it. And I think you've definitely paid your time, paid your dues in the niche of the salon and hair care and stuff like that. And is that what the How to Marketing Pro kind of focus on? Are you focused around the salon marketing niche? Give
Yeah,
us the lay of the land there.
yeah, that's my first part of my brand, definitely, because I've got 32 years in. However, with the direct mail and the drop shift gifting, it's really about being able to attract a client, nurture, and then follow up, and then wash, rinse, and repeat.
Mm.
And then doing that through the automation aspect is what I get so damn excited about. Because where I test everything, first off, has been and will be, for as long as I'm still turning a key at my salon, is at ground zero. So, like right now, if you go to my book a call page, you're going to be presented with a pop-up that's going to ask you your address, and then in turn, it's going to send you a postcard, and it's going to send you a text. So that's where my heart goes out to the service-based industry now, because if they are lacking the know-how, about how integrated that a business could be or should be with today's technology. That's where I get like, let me help you.
Love it. I love it. So what sort of businesses are you working with right now, Anne? And like what's your retainer like? Is it project work mainly, or are you main on the retainer side and recurring revenue?
Um, I've started to shift, especially since like the last mastermind, towards really getting my brand out there for the software, and then yes, I have been retainer based, and the concepts that I have are really too. When I was last interviewed at the mastermind, like what do you have to offer? And that's being able to help a business really know how to give a thorough consultation, and I've been saying that for like 25 years. Because when you are able to show a business how to consult with their clients, if they're in the service industry, then they're able to offer better solutions. It helps to have a repeat business. And of course, naturally just encourages people to leave really, really good reviews, and then wash, rinse, and repeat.
Love it. Love it. That's fantastic. So, yeah, I think in high level, you're doing a lot of work with high level right now. Is that have you like how are you using it? Can you? I think Sam, you may have a question around this. Maybe we should wait for that.
Yeah, I do actually have your,
All right. So we'll skip the high level stuff right now, but maybe tell me a little bit about where you're joining in from, and like what part of the states are you in right now?
Oh, I'm in Massachusetts. One of my clients right now is down in Georgia. A past client, it was in Ohio, and then a very close professional friend of mine who 2 years ago she was like, "I want to hire you," and I'm like, "I don't know." But but what I did with her was I made a very, very long intake. And some of my intake isn't just like, oh, how much money do you want to make? How long are you able to comfortably sit to be able to take in information? Or how long can you realistically devote to your marketing? And how long are you, and where do you see yourself devoting this time if we're going to do business together? Because it really matters to me that it's implemented. And that too is like my tagline is it's like strategize, implement, automate to dominate. So because you can only help somebody that's willing to help themselves, even if they have their checkbook out.
Yeah, I agree. So I like that idea of that intake form. So it seems like you just customize it based on the client you have in front of you.
Yes, I do. And that's because of the depth of the tech knowledge that I taught myself over the last 25 years. I need to know where I can make the quickest impact, so that they can get results quicker, versus me taking what I know and just, trying to like. One takeaway I got at the last training was the word immersion. I love the word immersion. And I'm like, if that's one word I had to explain, like what my coaching style is, it's immersion. Um, if somebody's working with me and they don't walk away learning something, then I tease, I can be sarcastic. They must have been asleep or not breathing. So, and I think one strong point I have is being able to break down something like Google Analytics. I mean,
Mm.
for the average person, that's like a Google what a Wix, and is just being able to break it down so it's interesting and that they can see like real traffic. Because with my coaching client that has a local spa, I broke down an exercise to make a Google. Well, we put in our Google Analytics, but then make a YouTube video, right? But like even down to why the image should be what it is because the AI can recognize it, to putting it all together on purpose, and then said, all right, now when you push it out to your social media and through your email, sit home, be
Mm.
home with a glass of wine, open up your live report in your Google Analytics, And I was able to show her that like organic traffic, when you have that live report out open and you push it out, like you push it out, and that it can come back in. So, and it was really rewarding. It still gives me goosebumps because in like six to 9 weeks, organically, she made over $20,000 just with that one YouTube video, no ads run to it. So I'm like,
Nice.
yeah. So, and she's a local spa. She's not a nerd. She's just, she has employees. And the reason why she had hired me was that she'd been shelling out all this money to bigger agencies, radio stations, like that sort of type of avenue. But she didn't know if she was really getting a return on her investment. And then she wanted to take a little bit of that into her own hands to see, if it was worth her time, was it worth her money? Does she want to take on some of it herself, or would she rather outsource it?
So what would your typical retainer look like? And like if a salon wants to engage you, what would that look like, your service offering?
My coaching package in itself starts at like 6,000, and currently right now my software, the software stack, all-in-one marketing direct mail drop, can make your life easier solution. That starts at $749 a month. And, that might be, for some, it might not be the right fit, but if given a chance, I know that it is, just because of what you can, especially like say hair extensionist, right? I can speak to that. On the low end, hair extensionists can make $1,000 for a makeover. On upward to, like, I can speak for myself, where my average is 4,000 for one appointment. I know that the software I use works because my 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks ago, I missed a call. The software was able to send an auto text, grab that client from going somewhere else, and she wound up spending $3,900. So, so you got to look. What I like to share with people is you got to look further out versus like right in front of you. Like, what is that going to be worth? So I've made some of my clients more aware of, that's one of the things that's in my coaching, is like how to customize a more expensive package so that you're serving less amount of people, buying your time back, not working as hard, because nobody wants to live at work, at least the ones that are in front of me. And so I can tell you that what influenced my business was there was an all-inclusive resort I went to.
Where was this?
It was Sandals. Been back 6 times since. And then another time in my 20s, we went on a cruise at
Bahamas?
Jamaica.
Jamaica, okay.
Yeah, and then we're going back to, we're going to be going to St. Lucia for our 30th anniversary. But once I experienced Sandals, I was just like, this is the perfect business model. There was a need, vacation, but there was the need. Then I went to the agent at the time. So that'd be the person you're consulting with. Oh, what are you looking for? Oh, well, we have this. It has a package price. It includes this. Okay, you don't want the beachfront room? No problem. You still get all of this. You just might need to stay at the back of the resort. And so that's my way I fashioned my business. I much rather have a model that's a bit on the high side for some, but explain it well enough that it makes sense for them to be comfortable to go, okay, versus we went on a cruise one time. It seemed dirt cheap. And then by the time we got off the boat, there was all the excursions and this and that and all the add-ons and this and that. And I've never run any of my business with a whole bunch of add-ons. I don't mind and feel that there's a place for an upgrade if it really has value, but I've never been a shopper that liked to buy something cheap only to find out behind door A, B, and C that it was like 5,000, 10,000, 35. Just tell me, just, you know what? Save me my precious time. Tell me something's going to be 10,000, 20,000, and let me make an educated decision. So I just, what you see is what you get. I've made every inch of my content online for 20 years. 9.5, 10 years ago, I suffered being hacked. I lost 7 years worth of blogging. I rebuilt it. So, and I think the one thing that's really truly an asset with, say, working with myself is that I come from a family that has family owned businesses. You don't wake up in the morning to suck. We've lived through ups and downs with different economies, stuff crashing, having bridge construction in front of our livelihood. So when I work with somebody, it's very intentionally, intention based that as long as I'm breathing, I want you to get results.
I love it. That's a
Yeah.
great philosophy. I think the pricing model is right on point. And knowing you, I think just that $750 automation tool that you have created for the hair salons would be a tremendous value. So just by itself, I think that, great starting point. And for the select few, they can engage you as their coach, and so lots of other stuff, ways to work with Anne here. So Sam, you ready to get going and get into your segment?
Absolutely, I am. Thank you so much, Azhar. So, Anne, like you've shared a lot on where you got the inspiration for the entire model that you're running, and it sounds awesome, really. So, the next thing that I want to ask you is, what's your secret sauce for all your businesses? Like, what drives your success? If I talk about RepStack, then it is the RepStack Success Academy, which is the training department of ours, where like all the associates spend 2 to 4 weeks before being placed with a client, and that's how I think that is what drives success for RepStack. What is that secret sauce for your businesses?
Not ever taking on anything that I know that I'm not the right person for. The first one to refer somebody out. And if I don't feel that I am the right person to get you the results that you're looking for, like I said, I won't do it. And simply just keeping it simple and not taking on too much. So going back even to my salon model in 1999, right, the last century, I stopped double booking and taking 2 clients at the same time. Even though the industry said that's what we were supposed to do, I'm like, that doesn't allow me to be very specific and intentional about results. So I don't ever take on more clients than I can handle, because I want everybody to get quality results, not just to be shuffled through. And that's just really how I've done everything. Like,
Awesome. Quality over quantity. That
yeah,
sounds great.
quality before quantity.
Yeah.
Even with my approach with GoHighLevel. So
Uh-huh. All right, that brings me to my next question that Azhar already gave a little teaser for. So walk us through your high level, like how you integrate the tool inside your businesses and how are you guys using it?
oh geez, that's where people ask me how I use GoHighLevel. I say on every level. Okay. It's fully integrated with the salon. I'm constantly looking to see what other solutions within that I can make it sing like a hummingbird, right? And then for the garage, because we own an auto repair garage, the AI for the reviews takes care of responding to the multiple reviews that we get, which is phenomenal. And only 9 years ago, my husband didn't have any automations, none, zero. He ran a 5-bay garage off of voicemail. Can you imagine? We had conversations. So that has definitely been a huge improvement. Then in the content army, I've made some small content pieces for GoHighLevel. I've won some small awards for that. I have a couple affiliates from upgrading, and I follow up with them. And what else? Yeah, so just about every single way that you can use GoHighLevel, I'm trying to tap into it.
Oh, that sounds great. Awesome. All right. So moving on to my third question. What is it like a day in the life of AnneMarie managing all these diverse businesses, like your role as a salon owner, photographer, consultant, and an amazing educator?
Oh, I rely on automation. Truly. I truly do. Yes, and to that point, what immediately comes to mind is the boundary aspect of personal time from professional time that I see many, not just salons, but in particular, if I say hairstylists, I see that complaint in the community a lot. Oh my God, somebody's texting me after, and I'm at my kid's soccer game, or can't I have a day off? Yes, you simply make an automation just like you for text replies, just like you would an email reminder. And so what's really cool about that is I set mine to 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock's my hard stop. And then so whether it be a new client or an existing client, they get responded to and those boundaries are set. So yeah, automation.
It's just an automation away from having that perfect work-life balance. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Great. All right. I love it. AnneMarie, the next segment is 3 more ideas. So
Yep.
are you ready for the first one?
Sure.
So the first one is females in marketing.
Oh man, I love females in marketing because even though this is a boys' club, you all have, yeah, all of you have mamas, and if your mother didn't have you, you wouldn't be dominating the industry. But no, seriously, I think it's really cool to see a lot more women around tech and in IT. And my daughter might be able to hear me, but she went to college. She's a year out, and she's a robotic engineer, so she debugs software all the time. And seeing that too, we can be creative and nurturers. The word nurture goes hand in hand, I think, sometimes with females because it's just in our nature to nurture. And so again, I'll go back to automations. You need to nurture your private time. You need to protect your personal time for work-life balance. So I think there's a lot from us to learn from and vice versa. So
Absolutely. All right. Moving on to the next one. It's networking.
networking. I think truly that people are the best resources. Money is just a derivative of an exchange of what somebody wants or needs and what somebody's searching. But the biggest resource I think we all have are people. You just never know who might know who. And one of my strengths is thinking extremely fast and go, oh, you have this over here? Oh, wait a minute. Let me introduce you to this person, even if I only just met them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
right.
Think just
Yeah.
on that note, do you have like a team that you work with, AnneMarie? Like how many people report to you, and how many of them are remote versus in person?
Well, I have the third party. I think you might know who they are. So they are like where I'm like baby stepping out to trust somebody. Over the years, I've had little bits of it here and there, and then sometimes it's failed, and people aren't perfect. So my biggest flaw is working on myself to be able to let somebody be able to, first of all, just coach them well enough so that they grasp how things need to be done, cut them enough slack, and then to be able to reel them back in and go, yeah, no, that didn't work. So, because I had an intern to beginning of this year, during the fall. She just insisted on wanting to work with me. So I gave it a go for a while, but it just didn't work out. So so I'd be looking to you for more resources about that. So
Sounds
That'd be a
great.
good
Going
idea. But yeah, I think like that's one way of doing it. I've seen very few people do it like that, where they've built successful businesses entirely on, kind of squeezing the juice out of, yourself, first of all, and then automating your life around like delegating to automations
yeah,
instead of a human being, right? So that's next level. But I do have some good news for you, Anne, because from at this point, like when you start bringing in the right people, that's the big question mark, of course.
yeah.
uh the fuel on the fire gets like really good, because like I've seen this one friend of mine and a client of ours and everything in between. Like he's been able to grow his agency like really fast. Like I think he's on his fifth or sixth person, hiring rapidly. Before, like he didn't hire till like he got to seven figures. I was just like a one man person building a seven figure agency, and now he's up to like six people, including himself, I think, and they're going faster than ever.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for like lean and the right people, because that's how my husband runs his business. It's also another
Hmm.
reason why my software is not $97 a month. No,
Yeah,
thank
I like that idea.
oh, thank you. And now, and all due respect for people that do, if they're at a different point in their life or they want to expend that extra energy, rock
Hmm.
on. But like, I still like to be able to travel. And we also read the book, The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. It's been a year and a half out after now becoming debt free. It took us like 6 years. So
Hmm.
so having that all buttoned up on the personal side is just a really good place to be, which I also talk about that. I've been very vocal on that with my social media to encourage others. It's not always about chasing the dollar. It's what you do with the dollar once you get the dollar. Um,
Hmm.
is really important. So even that I mentioned in my coaching, because there is a lot of money to be made, and that it just once you figure out that you don't ever have to be without it, like because on the other side of the screen, uh,
Hmm.
I just always believe that like if somebody, everybody has ideas. Like you asked me what are a few of mine, I'm able to fire them off. But for those that have ideas but they don't know how to plug it in, that
Hmm.
that's the connector. That's what I'm like. That's where I like to try to help people realize that they don't have to be stuck in a cubicle, and just be mindful too, because in our circle, there's a lot of money to be made. And
Hmm.
that life balance time factor is always going to be so important. Because I've seen people like even in the Go High Level group said, I ran an ad. I didn't expect 250 people to say yes. What do I do now? Yeah. Yeah. Like, well, you call RepStack.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Go ahead, Sam.
All right, I'm just moving on to the third one because I really think that Anne is going to like this one. So the third term, Anne, for you is passion.
Oh, geez, passion. Never let your past define you. And even if sometimes things don't go as expected, don't ever become a victim. Just know that you have a choice. You have a choice to get up every day. You have a choice to make a difference. Yeah, like, and also dream. You might hear dream big, but when you think you're dreaming big, you're not dreaming big enough. Dream bigger. And then, of course, always surround yourself around people that have done are doing what you do, have done doing what you do, but they're doing it bigger. And also ask them too, even if they've done it bigger, what are some drawbacks? What's the other side of all the success that they would have done differently? Because if you can get those shortcuts, man, life's easy. So yeah. So
Yeah, I
and
think it's also easier when you're like sort of like you built out, you became a master within your niche by doing the work and kind of self marketing yourself, and then now helping people out within the same niche. So I feel that time flies when you're working in the craft that you've kind of come to love, and the people that you kind of surround yourself with, right? So it just feels second nature.
Yeah.
Then, what do you think about that?
This New Year's, for the last 3 or 4 years, there's a couple of close friends. I've started a tradition of getting a vision board together, and so we celebrate doing that. And one of my fitness coaches, she really made me be self-aware of two things. I was just like, wow, I have some trips planned this year, and one was, let's see, St. Lucia. I'm going to Ireland for 3 weeks, going back to the GoHighLevel Summit in October, which I booked from last year. And then there was something else, and then the summit came up. So I had like 6 trips pre-planned from it just started now till October. And she goes, "How's that different than any other year? You always travel." And I was just like, it was just the way she said it. So then I was driving to work. That spilled over into what it is that I take as my normal for when I do get a very lucrative makeover job. And I was just like, how long have I been charging 4 figures for one job? I was like, I've been certified for 18 years. My God, I guess I have been a very expensive high-end hairstylist for 18 years, but I didn't look at it that way. So I think every time we get comfortable with a new benchmark, especially around money, because it's such a personal topic, for me, it was just keeping my nose down, focusing on the customer service, uh, realizing like, oh, wow, that worked. And the products I use are not inexpensive. And then the biggest thing is by adding more value, I'd continually take educational classes. So over the course of my career, I probably have spent 100,000 on hair classes. I'm certified by 6 different hair extension companies, eyelashes, brow extensions, you name it, because I didn't want to have to say, no, I can't do that. And I was just fascinated by makeovers. So now what's been really awesome over the last about a year and a half, is that consultation aspect. I really, really strongly promote charging for consultation. When people buy in to reading what you have for content or wanting to be part of that, and they're willing to open their wallet to pay for your expertise, they usually stick around. And I've caught so much flack for that, but I've now have case studies where a solopreneur is, and by the end of last year, they added $35,000 worth of new hair extension revenue after doing a 6-week social media boot camp with me. But I can't take credit for that. I am just the messenger in front of them going, yeah, rah, rah, this is how you do it. There's the data. Now you get out there and do it. And he stuck with it. And then the other one's the spa owner. I'll never forget that. Oh my God, that one goes back a few years. I kept at her. She's done education work, worked for spa shows and really high end, but she wasn't charging for a consultation. And then we were out to dinner one night at a local bar and grill, just to give it the setting. And she gave me her new flyer and it said $50 for a 20-minute skin consultation. I literally dropped and did a push-up. I said, hallelujah. Because, so many professionals in different fields, they have to pay for education. So whoever they are that say that we should give up our professional time for free, I disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly because you know what? I own commercial property. I can't go to the town hall and pay for my real estate taxes with a payment called free. I can't log into my local bank to send my cable company or my insurance company a payment called free. So free doesn't pay the bills. Free doesn't put food on my table. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, and there's that's a hot topic because, like,
How I'm guessing you've been charging for consultations
yeah,
for
uh,
yourself.
over 20 years.
Nice, nice. And how much do you charge for a consultation?
My current salon consultation is $250.
Nice. I think that's great. I think pretty simple stuff. No rocket science.
Yeah, no rocket science.
Listening to Anne, it's just such a pleasure because you just simplified the hell out of this whole entrepreneurial struggles and journeys that we all think about and go through. It's not much. Just keep your nose clean and look, do the work that you promised. Charge the right price for you,
And I'm on
and
the same street. I'm on the same street. I'm literally across the street. So
nice,
it's
nice.
and I don't live in a big city. So I'm on the same street in the same small city, small town. It's so, like, when I hear people say, "Oh, I can't. I live in a small town." If you say you can't, you're right. You won't. You know, because I've always said you have a 100% chance of a 50% chance of a yes, but only if you ask. So,
Mhm.
we're saying, like, passion. I myself, I was always a go-getter. I had to be on my own at an early age. So when it came to waiting tables, I didn't wait the ideal time to serve you cheesecake or ask. So I was always strategizing, because if you were halfway through your meal, I was like, this, if I ask you when I'm supposed to ask you, you probably say, no, I'm full. But to offset that, it really would go really well inside a doggy bag. So when I come back, you're probably not going to say no.
Love it, love it.
And then
Well, and
the
yeah, go ahead.
last thing that I got, what was awesome, it was a challenge, but great advice, was I was doing business with a software company. I just got onboarded, paid my steep fee at the time, when right before the salon closed down. They were so
Mhm.
generous. And they said, if you meet with our marketing manager, we'll give you some ideas and we'll work with you. I said, okay. So what they did was this. They said, if you go live 14 days in a row, 2 weeks in a row, we won't charge you for the software until you could pay for it. I was like, wow, wow. Oh, I can do that. It wasn't as easy. And the best thing about going live is that I can tell you is just be you, because people buy people long before they'll buy a solution or product. And
Mm.
and I did it. And at first it was hard. And then, you know what? It just turned into some sort of motivational thing. And every day that I thought I'd quit, there would be times I'd get a message in my inbox going, "Hey, I was looking forward to that." I was like, "Great." And the end result of that was my highest yielding gross sales, and I haven't yet hit that again at the salon. And the point of it was, from that marketing manager, is those that are memorable, especially when it came out of a hard time like that, people remember them. And people remember people for how they make them feel. And so
Mm.
the end of that was, I wound up seeing $17,000 in hair extensions that month. So
Or-
so if I had any free advice, it would be go live, just go live, be yourself. Because, and
Mm.
and then the last thing on top of the last thing is, by adding value in somebody's feed. It's like, people like sometimes look at their feed as their feed. Well, it's my feed. I can say what I want. But it's always good to be mindful and of what you're delivering, because you don't know what time of day it is when somebody sees your message. So just stay positive and be yourself.
Yeah, that is so true. Building the right connection is like so imperative.
Yeah.
Well, Anne, thanks for your time today. This was amazing. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I don't want to end the call, but we're getting to that point here. But I look forward to seeing you for the Dallas event for sure. Our
Yeah,
path,
can't wait.
our paths may cross sooner than that. You may never know because there's another high level event coming up in July. So one of us will definitely be there. I don't know which one, so we're still figuring it out. But yeah, thanks for doing this, and
Thanks
we'll
for
see.
having me. Nice meeting you both.
Same here.
Same.
We'll talk to you soon, Anne.